Hey guys, good morning. It's Sonia. How are you? Happy Friday to you all. Woohoo! We made it through the week. Good morning. Are you happy that the weekend is here? I am up even more earlier than usual today, getting ready to hit the road. My storefront in Ligonier is open. My physical store is open on Fridays and Saturdays. And so we are about to hit the road, meaning me and Matt, and head down there. So I'm sure you will see me filming some videos down there a little bit later today. And yeah, so that's kind of like what I'm up to today. How about you guys? If you're just joining this channel, we meet up every single morning and do a little chit chat over coffee in the morning, talking about ways that we can grow our businesses. And I love to be able to answer your questions. And that gives me stuff to talk on. So one of the things that you guys have been asking about and writing in about, and just yesterday something happened with this channel. So I thought, you know what, let's use this as an example and I can help you guys as you guys go on to have your own YouTube channel. So who out there has some curiosity about YouTube, and who out there as well would love to know how to get monetized on YouTube? Do you have a channel? Have you thought about having a channel? Like, do you, for your own self, with your own skill set, with your own like loves? Like, do you not love to be on video? Could you deal with it? Tell me. I would love to hear from you guys. Who dreams of having their own YouTube channel is basically what I'm trying to say. Hey, Brenda, how are you? Good morning, Chris. Hey, Lisa. Jacqueline's on here. Pam, Jan, Brenda. Oh my gosh, Lisa, this is me, right? Yeah, absolutely. So, oh, Jan's headed to work, getting ready. Hi, hear ya. We're going to have a quick chat this morning because it takes a couple hours to get to my storefront, and it opens at 11 o'clock. And so it's like 8 o'clock now. So we're going to chit chat and we are going to get going. Lisa says she's been researching. Shauna says, good morning. Rebecca says, I am the biggest dreamer. Hey, somebody's got to be the dreamer, right? And if you can dream it, you can really do it. You just got to have, you just got to make a plan to make the dream come true, right? And so YouTube gives us, tells us out front what it, like, if you want to be monetized, and I'll tell you what that means in a second on YouTube. But basically, YouTube gives us the goals. If we have a dream of being on YouTube and making money on YouTube, and remember, you can do whatever you want on YouTube, not whatever you want. I mean, like, there are some rules and regulations, right? You're on somebody else's platform. YouTube is actually owned by Google, just to let you know. So a beautiful thing, if you are trying to grow your business, is if you can get yourself onto YouTube, which is owned by Google, and Google is the biggest search engine. Well, who do you think's content it's going to put up first, right? Its own. So that is just one part of an amazing thing about being on YouTube, all right? But I started to say that YouTube gives us the map of what we need to meet in order to be monetized. YouTube, in my mind, is just like this bookshelf behind me. And that is one of the reasons I love YouTube is I have been doing, I started my first YouTube channel in 2014. I have been a YouTube lover for a very, very long time. Did I say lover for a very long time? And it's even picking up more and more steam. One of the reasons why I love YouTube is I say, like, visually, like, those are books on a shelf. And you guys know that if you go to my channel, it is like a book cover with a title, and you can pick whatever book you want to listen to that day, right? That audio visual book of whatever. And there can be books about how to and DIY for all of us creatives on here, but it can be like more educational. I mean, look at this channel here. This is my second channel. Did I introduce myself? I'm Sonia with Junk Monkey Paint Company. Hopefully I said that. It's been an early morning today. But my first channel is all about creativity and thrifting and junking and picking and, painting and doing projects on a budget and just, behind the scenes having fun, hanging out. And then this channel here is a educational channel, right? It's how to grow your business, tips and tricks and strategy and mindset and just motivation, right? A community to grow. So you can set up a YouTube channel any way you want to. I mean, in terms of whatever subject. It was crazy. This past week, I came across a channel because YouTube will recommend channels to you. It's a whole platform of its own. It operates different than, Facebook and other things. It's almost like every platform has its own bells and whistles, right? And so if you can get good at one platform and then do it like you know it like the back of your hand, and then move on and pick a second platform to be on. Everybody, you might find people who are on all the platforms. I mean, not as a business, but just as a human being, just like somebody. But most people enjoy maybe one or two platforms, and that's where they go. That's where they hang out. As business owners, we're a bit of a unicorn because we're like, hey, I should be here and I should be there because I want to be where the people are, right? It's like the Little Mermaid. I want to be where she wants to be where people are, okay? So I love Little Mermaid. So you got to think about it to yourself, right? As a business owner, you might be everywhere, but people are not everywhere. So you have to figure out what platform makes sense for you. Where do you want to be? And remember, I always say to align your business with what makes sense for you. So if you don't like being on camera, or maybe you do, but you just want to polish yourself up before you get to that point, right? You either love it or you hate it. We all have we're all different, and we have a choice of different ways we like to communicate, right? That's why some people would love to read, and some people are like, I do not like to read. I want an audio book, right? I want to listen to the book. I'll actually take time to be able to get through it if I listen to it, but I don't have time to sit down and read it. Some people like pictures and reading. Some people are like, nope, give me the video. Some people want long video and be like, girl, let's sit down. And you take forever and I want to hear the sounds. And I just want to sit here and listen to you do your job of what you're doing and talk to me. And it's company in the background, go as long as you want. And then you have other people that are like, get to the point right now. Too much talky, not enough worky. All right. So as a content creator, somebody who creates videos and puts things out there for other people, it's hard to please everybody. So that's why variety is the spice of life, right? You think that I'm doing this, but somebody else will be like, nope, not good enough. So you got to do what comes from your heart, what makes sense for you. But yeah, you can do variety. So your channel can be a variety show. But YouTube channels, I was starting to say that this week that YouTube put up a recommendation this week, and they said, for me, a recommendation that came up this week. And I was listening to some channels that we're doing, and I think this is why. I was listening to some channels, like one of the things that's out there right now that's really popular is people who are really into true crime. And so some of the channels that I watch, like food channels, they're starting to do basically a show once a week where they eat or whatever they eat their creations, and they talk about something like a mystery that was never solved, and who do you think did it? And so now YouTube is throwing up these things for me, saying stuff like, you might like this channel. And I'm like, did somebody really make a channel out of going in? I mean, somebody's got to do it. It's real life. It happens, right? It's reality. I saw a channel this week where somebody goes in and they film how they clean up after a crime scene. I mean, there are companies that make a lot of money, and this is what they do. They have to go in after the police have left, the investigators have left, and they have to clean the crime scene. Think about that, right? Somebody has got to do it. And it blew my mind. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a YouTube channel. There's lots of them dedicated to things like this, So you might think, well, what kind of idea do I need? Listen, if you can create whatever it is that you do, there's people who are curious about things that happen in life. YouTube, I always say, is the TV of the future. It's a TV of now, because people are really sick and tired of fake things, right? They're tired of scripted things. We're tired of things being perfect, right? And so we now, even on YouTube, a lot of celebrities, people flock to their channels to get a glimpse of what it's like inside a celebrity's home, or what their day-to-day routine is. What time do they get up in the day? What do they eat in a day, right? It's because we're naturally curious, right? We want to see how other people live. So that's just an example. But there are cooking shows, DIY shows. There's like vlogging, people who vlog every single day, what's going on in their life a little bit. I mean, there's everything. You tell me, what's your favorite YouTube channels? And tell me, like what it is, what's their thing? Like, what do they do? It is everything. I love to watch this guy that dives for treasure underneath the water, stuff that we've lost, okay, that becomes treasure, like all kinds of stuff. And he just floats around and it goes under like, bridges over very popular waterways, and people lose stuff and it falls through the bridge, and he goes down and he collects stuff. And I listen to the bubbles, and he's down there going, ooh, what's that there sticking out? You know what I mean? And he finds all kinds of amazing stuff. One of my favorite things, Bridget says she's watched the crime scene cleanup. Oh my goodness. So one of the things I wanted to talk to you guys about today, there's a lot of different parts that make up YouTube. And so even when I talk about the different platforms that are different, guys, I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of live videos that I've done on Facebook, right? And Facebook serves a purpose. It's a different kind of a platform than YouTube. Most people search for stuff on YouTube. It is a giant search engine, okay? It's technically not social media, but we spend a lot of time on there. More and more people are giving up their cable services. They're giving up cable services. They're doing TV on demand. and they're doing YouTube. Like they're finding a lot of stuff watching things on YouTube, right? I was on last night on YouTube and I watched an episode of a show that is also on a TV on demand app, right? So you can find amazing things on YouTube. But I think to myself about all the stuff that I've put on Facebook, and I've learned and I've gotten better to be an expert on YouTube now. That's why I'm able to talk with you guys on here. And there's a place for Facebook, but let me tell you, there's a place for Facebook, but there's a place for YouTube as well in your business, especially if you love the idea of being a regular content creator and making money off of it. So today specifically, I want to tell you what YouTube requires for you to be monetized, because guys, I just went through this yesterday with this existing channel. Okay. So I went through it and I actually made notes as I was doing it, because I'm like, oh, I got to tell my people this, right? Because now I'm going through it, and sometimes channels and platforms can change. But as of yesterday, walking through it, this is what I know to be true. Okay. These are the current requirements. So basically, when you set up a YouTube channel, the requirements to get monetized, which is making money off of ads that are played. Okay. So ad revenue comes to YouTube. YouTube then puts ads on creators' channels that are eligible. And then what happens is they pay the creators 55% and they keep 45% of the ad revenue for themselves. Now, I read a story this week that I pulled up. Okay, it just came out this month, and it says, it leads with the line, YouTube drove 15 billion in ad revenue in 2019. Imagine 15.1 billion in ad revenue in 2019. That was according to Google's fourth quarter report, and most of that money went to creators who make videos for the service. All right. So YouTube in itself basically has all these creators underneath it, right? Including this channel right here. This is a channel. This is a creator channel. So don't be like, what is a creator channel? It's your channel, okay? The most basic of channels. And what happens is people pay YouTube, meaning businesses. So for example, me, Junk Monkey Paint Company, I could advertise on Google. I pay Google, and then Google finds relevant channels that might make sense for those ads to go on, so that way those audiences are the right fit for those ads, or at least to the best of its ability, right? So what happens is Google, which is YouTube gets paid. YouTube puts the ads out to the eligible channels, and then when you as my audience, let's use this first person, when you see an ad on my channel and you watch an ad or you click an ad, what happens is that is how the creator gets paid, because you get it, the ads are on the creator's channel. YouTube gets paid by ad companies, and then YouTube pays a chunk of it, 55%, to the actual creator. So you basically get rewarded for having good content, for having your channel in good standing, so that ads can be placed on your channel. And then YouTube goes, yeah, you just keep on creating. You just keep on creating. We'll put the ads on there. Have you ever seen that little thing where the ad starts to play and then you get the skip ad? That's how you know a channel has met the threshold to be monetized. So what does it take to be monetized? Okay. So what you have to have once you set up your YouTube channel these are the requirements. 4,000 public watch hours. Write that down. 4,000 public watch hours in 12 months. Okay. Within a 12-month period. So you have to have 4,000 watch hours, not 4,000 people, not 4,000 subscribers, not 4,000 views on a video. 4,000 watch hours. That means if you were to line up all the content that you're putting out there, how long would people have sat and watched your content for, right? That's a good indicator to YouTube. YouTube made some changes a couple years ago where it made it not a little bit harder. I mean, you just don't get monetized right off the bat. Now there's a period. They review your channel to see if your channel is now eligible for ads to be monetized. So you can start a YouTube. I started my YouTube channel January the 1st. This is February the 21st. And yesterday I got an email from YouTube saying you are now eligible to be reviewed for monetization. Okay. So that means that I have met 4,000 watch hours. See how I messed that up? 4,000 watch hours. I've met the threshold of 1,000 subscribers. So 4,000 public watch hours, 1,000 subscribers, and then you can request to be reviewed, to be monetized. So now you can make money off of ad revenue. Now, there are many ways to make money on YouTube that you can really work it and just, it's a business on YouTube. So you can be smart about how you do it. We'll talk about more about that later, but I'm talking about basic making money off of ads. Basically, you're creating a show, you're producing a show, you're giving value, and just like on the TV channel, an ad runs, the same idea, right? Wasn't it crazy? We were talking about ads. We were talking about ads way back when. And do you remember when we were talking about how ads came to be and how, what was the company was Westinghouse was trying to sell radios. And they thought, well, let's put on great programming on the radio and then people will want to buy the radio, right? And then as part of that content, then ads started to be stuffed in there because people were like, people are listening to that show. Now this is a great way for me to like sell my stapler on the radio, right? And we really evolved from there. But you can think of your show like a show. You can think of your content like a show. And then there's an ad at the beginning, in the middle, at the end. And you'll learn more as I go on to talk about it. Like your videos have to be a certain length in order to have a certain amount of ads and all those sorts of things, all right? So when you go in and you're starting to put up your videos, what will happen is you will have a little tab that you can see in your analytics. And it'll be just basically like what looks like on the front of your car. And it's like a little speedometer. That's what it's called, right? A speedometer. And it'll tell you like where you are for monetization. Now, you don't have to apply for monetization, but if you're a business and maybe not necessarily a hobbyist, or you could be a hobbyist, but just want to get paid for all the supplies that you use, all those sorts of things, it's a great thing, right? Why not? You guys will not pay for anything. This coaching group used to be a paid coaching group, right? I did that for 2 years. And I told you guys when I started this channel that I wanted to change it up. I don't know anybody else is doing what I'm doing, but you know what? I'm blazing my own path and doing my own thing and setting up business the way that I want to set it up, which I love the idea of having a morning talk about business with other people who get it before I start my day. And it sounds like you guys do too, right? That's why you're here watching today. And that's why you are here showing up. And we are doing business side by side with other like-minded people. And you don't have to be alone, right? You can find a place to go. So for me going forward, does that mean, well, Sonia, you gave up your paid membership? That just means that it's free to you guys, right? How will Sonia get paid for her time on this channel going forward if she gets this final review? Well, you're going to start to see an ad at the beginning on replay when you start to watch it back or things like that, right? You'll maybe see an ad show up somewhere. And what that means is that is how I can monetize this platform and get paid for my time and my services on here to you guys without you guys even having to pay a cent. That's pretty amazing, right? And if you're giving people value, what's going to happen is they will show up and they will listen to you because you're giving them value, all right? I mean, have you ever watched a YouTube video before and you've been watching something and an ad shows up? Okay, you give it a moment and it goes right back to resume programming, right? And it's good enough for you to continue, all right? So now what I'm about to do is tell you what happens next. Okay, right there, if I put an ad and I just said something like that, now I'm about to tell you what happens next, all right? So now you've reached the 4,000 watch hours. You've got 1,000 subscribers. Sonia, what do I do next? How do I get alerted? Like, what are the next steps? You see what I'm saying? If there was an ad right here, right now, would you still continue on listening? Would that have been a cliffhanger for you guys to go, okay, well, yeah, okay, I'll give it like 30 seconds for an ad, and then I want to hear whatever, right? You see the skip through ad as well. Remember those? There's different kinds of ads that you guys might see, okay? All right, so the ad just played. We're back. Did you get all that, what I was doing? Imagine if in playback there's really an ad right there where where YouTube inserts an ad. That would be really funny. Because when ads are inserted, you can do it manually, but you can also just let YouTube pick up on where pauses happen and that it makes sense for them to insert an ad. So they will look for that. So that's a whole side conversation. So now that you've reached 4,000 public watch hours, you've got 1,000 subscribers, you're going to log into your YouTube, you have a dashboard, it gives you alerts, and it's going to say, you've now reached, congratulations, you've now reached the period where you can be reviewed if you want for monetization. So I went in yesterday and here's what I did. It gives me 3 steps, okay, on my screen. And the first step is it says you have to agree to our community YouTube partner program, okay? YouTube has a set of policies, community standards. And that's why I say you have to make sure what you're putting out there is keeping YouTube happy. All right. YouTube goes out and takes the money from companies that want to put ads on your channel. Companies want to put ads on channels that are, not necessarily controversial, right? They can set boundaries for where they want to work with. So when you have a channel that is very easy to digest, it's family friendly, right? Like it's just much more easy to consume. And it's not necessarily something that, like I said, it's controversial, it's dramatic, there are things going on that could be questionable, all right? Then not all ad companies will want to work with you. So if you have a channel that's definitely more accepting and more just in good standing, that's going to benefit you, right? So you agree to the YouTube terms. That is the very first thing that you have to read through and agree. The second thing then, once you have to do when you've met that threshold, is the second step. YouTube told me yesterday is that I have to set up an AdSense account. And this is where, and they will give you the link. And basically it's where you are linked up with a bank so that they can pay you, all right? And every month you're able to go in and you're able to see how much you can get paid. On my very first channel that is monetized as well, when I went through this the very first time, I'm happy to say that what I make per month now pays for the mortgage on my new old home. So can you make money off of YouTube? And can it be very profitable? Absolutely, it can. You have to have create videos that give value to somebody else and have consistency. What can happen is you can get monetized, go 6 months without doing an upload, and you might need to be re-reviewed again for monetization in the future, right? So once you get it, you definitely want to stay consistent. And that is how you get it, with consistency, right? When you think about where I started to where I am now, January the 1st to February the 20th, somebody do the math for me. How many days, how many weeks was that of me showing up every single day before that happened? So if you're doing videos more consistently and more tightly together, that process is going to happen much more faster than if you're only putting out one video a week, or one video every 2 weeks, or every 3 weeks, or one a month. Do you see? So it's going to happen faster for you the more that you're able to produce quickly and put the content out there, the valuable content that produces the hours. Does that make sense? Give me a yes if it does. So for me, when you have an AdSense account, and I already have one on my other one, you can't have two AdSense accounts. So because I have one on my other channel, what happens is I give YouTube yesterday the information. It basically says, yep, okay, you're good to go. We've linked that up. If not, you go to the process and you set it up. So the money that you make, you get paid right to your bank account. So every single month, I think it's on the 21st, not the 21st, maybe it's the 20th. The 20th of every month is when YouTubers get paid. I think it's the 19th, the 20th, or the 21st, right there. YouTube just sends it out, all right? And then you get paid for what you've done on that previous month to that month, right? So this month in February, I got paid for the views that happened, right, in the month of January. So that's how YouTube pays out. And then once you have agreed to their community partner program standards, policies, procedures, saying, yep, I'm going to follow the rules, you have set up an AdSense account so that they can pay you, all right? And the third step says, all right, the third step is now just waiting. And so then what you do is you wait for an email from YouTube. So after setting your channel up to tell you that you have to have 4,000 public watch hours and 1,000 subscribers, now I have enough information there for YouTube to go, should we monetize this channel, right? I have created enough content for them to make a decision on my channel, okay? So that's one of the nice things when they changed that criteria. It gives them more to work with right now, right? So now they're monetizing good channels that are out there producing. And so if you want to be a part of it, just be a YouTube creator. Start thinking about the content that you could do. Think about the questions that people are asking you. Because just like people come on your channel and they ask you those questions, remember we've been talking about SEO, go back and listen to that chat if you missed it. Well, people type in SEO into YouTube to find what they need, okay? That SEO, if you've done it correctly, might lead them to your channel. And then you have things like social proof that comes in, all right, which is where there, you can see that how many people have viewed a video, and that will dictate to you whether or not you want to click on it or not. And so all that comes together. But once you've created, so if you went and looked on my YouTube channel right now, on both channels, there's a lot of books, right? Remember when I started this, YouTube videos are like thumbnails in a book and a spine of a book. You pull out the title and you read it. So once you've got a library full of books, full of videos, well, what happens is your watch time doesn't necessarily come from one video, because I've written the book, I filmed the book, and I put it on the shelf. Well, if that information is valuable, then what's going to happen is more and more people find my channel. They'll go back and they go, I always wanted to read that book. That's a question I always had. They will pull that book, AKA watch that video, and go, oh, okay. So you are always creating content. You're a curator of your own video library, all right? And it's amazing to be able to build a library that people keep pulling the books from. And then all those books equal watch time. Watch time allows ads to be put onto your channel, and then you get paid a percentage. Does that make sense? You ready to roll? Matt is ready to roll. It is 8:29, so we've been talking for a half an hour, and we're going to hit the road and head down to my shop right now. Yes, Naomi, they can. She says, can Facebook live videos be uploaded to YouTube, and are they counted as watch hours? Absolutely. You can totally do that. I did that for a lot of my videos. Then I learned a little bit more about how the viewer on YouTube is a little bit different than the viewer on Facebook. So I started doing some things with my videos, but that is exactly right. Laura says, so are you doing lives and uploading videos to get the 4,000 hours? That actually is a video. This is a video. This is live right now, and live videos can be monetized on YouTube. So when you think about if that's ever a question, and I just told you that yesterday I got the notice from YouTube that I've met the threshold to be considered for monetization. And you guys know that 99% of the videos that I put on this channel here has been live. Well, what does it tell you? Yeah, YouTube goes, okay, yeah, you can monetize live videos, right? So some days I will choose to do a live video, but if it's not humanly possible, I can film a video as well and put it up, right? Just depending on the day. On my other channel, I typically vlog and edit and put in music. On this channel, I'm all about, this is an educational type community where we meet up live. We network with each other, we talk, I can take your questions. And so it's a little bit different, right? But yeah, live or edited, absolutely. You're creating content for YouTube good content that YouTube can put ads on for these other companies. You create the content, they will pay you 55% of the ad revenue. They keep 45%, and you just keep on creating. And then you become a good creator. You listen to your people. Like, what do? I listen to your questions, and I say to you guys, what is it that you want me to talk on, right? You should be doing this on any platform. You should be asking your people, what is it that you want to know? Or when they do write in and ask you a question, go out and answer that question. Even on Facebook, a lot of your views will come on replays. They don't always happen when you're going live, right? But you've just tackled such a good topic that people will watch it later. So YouTube is the same thing. It is a library of video. So I want you to start thinking about that. All right, my friends, thank you. So tomorrow we'll continue the conversation that we talked about in here. And if you have any questions, leave them on this video. So that way when I come back tomorrow, I will go ahead and answer those questions live for you in the morning. Does that sound good? Thank you, guys. All right, I'm out of here. I would stay longer, but I got to open my shop today, so I'm glad we got the chit chat for a half an hour. Hopefully that gives you some good knowledge and some things to think about, and I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget to leave your questions. See ya. Bye. You're welcome.